Not a soul stirs in the entire village. Perhaps it is long since abandoned. No one appears to be staffing the inn. You promise to the absent innkeeper you'll pay later, and scurry inside out of the cold. Though it does not appear the owner is home, there are signs of life all throughout the cabin. You'd better not enter uninvited. This portion of the village appears to be a graveyard. Battle time. You come across a warrior clad head to toe in black armor, singularly focused on his swordcraft. He seems quite skilled. You spot a sign near him which reads, "Challengers welcome. Must be strong." The warrior turns to face you. "You, young lady, are not yet ready," he says with a chuckle. You're not sure why he's laughing. You pay him no mind and continue on your way. The bizarre rock transformed into a fear rock. The only way out of this fight is through it. To battle. You spot an open-air stall with a sign reading, "Goods bought here." You enter the stall and hear the proprietor call out to you. "Welcome to my exchange shop, but this'll determine how good the money is," she continues, revealing a single die in her hand. Without warning, she sets about closing her stall. Apparently, you were her last customer for today. You gather up your things and take your leave. Ooh, I can feel the chill from here. A masterful... To battle. Beautiful. At last, you've reached the Endwall. It is a cliff taller than any you've seen, and its breadth extends as far as the eye. You try to climb it, but its face is sheer ice, and your hands find no purchase. But you will not be defeated. You redouble your efforts and scramble partway up, only to see a giant snowball hurtling your way. In a show of quick thinking, you summon the flame primal and melt it before it crashes into you. Alas, that movement throws you off balance, and you plummet into the snow at the base of the Endwall. Legol's plea for you to stop goes unheeded, and you hurl yourself bodily at the icy cliff. This time, an even larger snowball drops down from the heavens. Sensing your life is in danger, you abandon your climb. You announce that you won't be trying again, and Legol applauds the sagacity of your decision. He then reminds you that no one even knows if the Nuterra the Guru spoke of is real. Polka doesn't look quite so ready to give in. Nuterra's existence is irrelevant, he says, noting that the Guru said it was simply where you'd find what you seek. Trollis reckons she can climb it and leaps at the Endwall. The party is divided. Legol opposes any attempt to advance, but Polka and Trollis insist on scaling the wall. Thanks to the flame primal's warmth, the debate carries on for some time. Suddenly, your vision blurs. You've drawn upon the flame primal's power for too long, and your body has reached its limit. The flame you called forth blinks out of existence, and a piercing chill sets in once more. Between your exhaustion and the cold, you feel yourself growing faint. These words, and the shape of an old woman emerging from the snow, are the last things you register before you lose consciousness. Your eyes open, and your surroundings come into focus. You're in a bed. Next to you sits an old woman. "Come around, have you?" she asks gently. You suppose she's been looking after you. Perhaps drawn by the noise you're making, Legol and the others burst into the room. They all fawn over you in turn. "Care for something to eat?" the old woman asks, her voice as soothing as any curative. No one could possibly grow crops here, you reason, and you certainly aren't about to go stealing food from an old woman. You politely decline. Modesty is so unbecoming of the young, the woman says, and sets about preparing a meal. The food is simple and warm. It heals your body and mind with every bite. Polka broaches a bit of conversation while you eat. "I didn't happen to see anyone else in the village." The old woman says she'll take you to meet the others, and shuffles out of the cabin. The old woman leads you to the graveyard. "They're all gone now," she says softly. Her face creases with profound sadness. Eager to leave a land in which nothing can grow, each one tried to scale the Endwall and reach Nuterra. But not a single one returned. Eventually, the old woman was the only one left. Her own son was also among those who set out to scale the Endwall. Still, the old woman ventures to the Endwall once a day, clinging to the last shred of hope she has that he will return. She tells you how grateful she's been for your company after so much time alone, and suggests you spend the night in Icevale. A piercing shriek launches you out of a deep sleep and onto your feet. That was the kindly old woman's voice. You're sure of it? You all agree to check in on her. The party hurriedly piles into her humble abode to find the old woman doubled over, clutching her back and unable to move. She's thrown her back out, Polka says matter-of-factly. There's a first time for everything, I suppose, he says. I'll have to perform surgery. Wish me luck. Absolutely not, the old woman protests. Perhaps sensing no small amount of danger to her life, the woman remains where she is and informs you that there is a curative that will ease her suffering. One derived from solnivias, rare flowers that bloom across the snowy plains. She's fed you and provided shelter. You must find that flower for her. You turn your head toward the source of the sound and see the merchant looking half frozen, waving at you from afar. You wave back, agog at the sight. What's a merchant like him doing in a place like this? The merchant is shivering something fierce. Please, you lot are my only hope, he pleads, and lays out his wares. Have you found the tortoise? He inquires. One that's 3 stars or above? Once the monster appears, the merchant summons the game parlor receptionist. The receptionist then proceeds to line up what look to be cards upon the tortoise's back. After a moment, his shoulders slump. I knew it. That item shop girl and I were never meant to be. Apparently, he'd heard that ice tortoise shells are good for divination and wanted the creature to foretell his love life. I don't believe in fortune-telling. The future is yours to make, the merchant exclaims with a grin, then hands you a reward. I may ask for your help again in the near future, he says with a smile. Until then. I've been waiting for you. This time, I need you to... He then procures a picture and shows it. He explains that tail toads love high places and live upon cliffs. You make note of the information and bid the man farewell. You spot a small flower poking its head above the snow. Surely that must be a Solnivia. There are several jutting up from the snow, but you pluck just one and resolve to return to the old woman. You burst through the door, Solnivia in hand. Polka grinds it according to the old woman's instructions and spreads the resulting salve on her back. Ah, that feels better already, she coos. Indeed, she seems to be instantly healed. Thank you ever so much. You must be chilled to the bone, she chirps as she begins preparing you a meal. The party decides there's nothing that cannot wait until tomorrow and agrees to spend yet another night in Icevale.